Hello, Trace from the Wildlife Garden. I thought I would have a little look around the garden and see what my garden is supporting. My wildlife garden is supporting, I should say, I suppose. And the first one, which is right outside the back door, is the common little ant. I seem to like this mat. They've disappeared now. There's one. Little ants scuttling about doing their thing. It's very common, and in a few weeks' time they'll be doing their incredible emergence from their nests. Despised by many, the garden snail. We see it there. Little family there, gathered, hiding. The most important one here on the ragwort is, if I can find it, see the little yellow eggs? That's the cinnabar moth. They would be the caterpillars of the cinnabar moth. It was laying the other day. There's 30 eggs. I believe this might be the Gwyn's mining bee. Not sure. No, it's actually Davis Collete's bee. I've just checked with my husband. They seem to like these daisies. We had a good number of masonry bees, so we've got quite a few masonry bee tubes filled. There's a leaf cutter just popped into here. Whoop, I can get her. That's a leaf cutter. You can see she's quite big. That could... Again, I'll have to check with my husband. He's the bee expert, solitary bee expert. But she's big. So it could be the woodcutter one. This one looks like a bee, but it's actually a fly. It's a bee mimic. One of our bee mimics feeding on the creeping buttercup. Absolutely amazing camouflage for itself. The biggest way of telling if it can turn around, it's not in great position, the eyes, the shape of its eyes, you'll know it's a... You can see there, it's fly eyes, those sort of, and it looks like it's, I think it's a male when the eyes are joined together. Yeah, it's great to see though. I think it might predate on something, I'm not sure. I'll put it in the notes if I can find out about it. This is a ladybird, but it's a harlequin ladybird. Not a native. Let me turn the contrast down a sec. Yeah, so non-native, but well adapted to living here now. I don't think we'll ever get rid of them. Yeah, usually bigger than our native ladybird. I think the jury's out on whether they attack and kill our ladybirds. I'm not sure. I have to look for the latest evidence on that. And these are the first cabbage whites. There were a few more, but a blue tick did come and take some. So that's what they're there for. Hopefully some will survive and lay eggs next time, and then there'll be food for blue ticks in the future. So just 3 left at the moment. Another little creature living in the garden. Sweet. Trying to get off that little lily pad. I think he needs some help. There we go. There you go. Okay. I think he's better now. And it's nice to see we've had quite a bit of rain and it's topped the pond up nicely. Two mating shield bugs. I think if we moved that slate there'd be some nice juicy big spiders behind there. So that's the shield bug. There's another narcissus fly, bee mimic. It's called a narcissus fly. Different one to the one the other day. It's almost like a red-tailed bee almost, look to it. That's a fly, not a bee. A lovely banded snail here. Lovely markings on them. And in here, if you can see the little yellow faces, these are willoughby leafcutters, the males sheltering in the bee boxes. There's a definite big leafcutter next to me, a couple of them, but whether they'll nest nearby, I don't know. We haven't seen them using the boxes yet. But there's two males waiting for females. I've got a lovely little hoverfly there. It's so windy today. Lovely caterpillar here. Fabulous. On my cabbage that I've planted for caterpillars. Keep you hidden, little caterpillar. Well, sawfly have had a feast as well. Not many leaves left on the red currant and the white currant. Really chomped it their way through. Find any. Yeah, a big feast being had here. The currants are beginning to ripen. Can't see any at the minute, but oh, there's one. Where is it? There's a little one. That's what they look like. I can see leafcutter activity in the garden by these little notches out of the leaves. That's the leafcutter bee. She takes those and rolls them up to make her nest for the egg that she'll lay. She'll pack it with pollen and lay an egg in there. As I say, we haven't seen any signs of them nesting in the garden again this year. I think we had a couple last year. And of course my robin. And look, he's got some food himself here. The nest is close by. So I'll move out of your way. I might be getting acorns on the oak tree this year. Can you see that? Let me get close by that little... Sorry, the focus is terrible with this phone. Zoom out. There, at the top. But what I was looking for is I noticed on here the other day a gall, oak tree gall. I'm not sure where it is now. But that is a host for a little wasp. I found the gall. There it is, that little ball. So that's the oak tree gall. As I say, a little wasp will be in there. And what I thought was an acorn is actually a berry on the hawthorn. The hawthorn. But my tree is falling over, I think. Needs a bit of support. A lovely male bee here. Just having a clean. Oh. There's a male early bumblebee. And bees feeding on many plants. Variety of bees. That's a wren. Loud song there. Yeah, we counted, well, my husband I should say, he's the bee man. He counted 14 species of bee in the garden the other day. So I think it's warmer next week, so we'll be able to have a good hunt for bees next week. I believe this is Cotton Easter, and it is always alive with bees. Loads of them. Oratory bees particularly. A great shrub. Can't really gather it through the phone, but yeah, it's buzzing with bees. So that's a few of the insects that I can find on this cool day today. Next week, as I say, it's a bit warmer, so hopefully we'll be able to spot quite a few other insects out and about. So yeah, some insects people tolerate and some insects that people don't tolerate. But yeah, they all play their part in a wildlife garden. Bye for now.